super hyped for this one. Cheeto Vera versus Cory Sandhagen. This is a really tough fight to pick, in my opinion. Um, and my reason for saying that is because, you look at Cheeto Vera's past couple of wins, right? The Dominic Cruz fight. Rob Font was an absolute battering from Cheeto Vera. And then you look at like Frankie Edgar and Dominic Cruz are kind of telling for me, where Cheeto Vera moves really well. He's downloading everything. He's throwing a few strikes, but he's letting his opponent kind of dictate the dance a little bit early on in the fight. And then Cory Sandhagen is just all action, nonstop action from start to finish, extreme cardio, crazy striking, like in terms of creativity, combinations. He's got a long reach. He's got a 70-inch reach, although both men have the same reach in this one. Maybe it just seems long because Cory is a little bit taller for a bantamweight. But I'm a huge Cheeto Vera fan, so this pains me, but I don't know how long that downloading strategy can really work out for a guy. Where he's watching and he's methodical and everything, against a guy like Cory Sandhagen, where like Dominic Cruz in the Cheeto Vera fight is more about dodging and moving. And for Cheeto, it was, okay, if I throw this, I know where Dom's going to move his head. With Cory Sandhagen, it's a little bit different because he's not like super defensive and about moving his feet and moving his head in the way that Dominic Cruz is. I don't think he presents as much of an opportunity to like throw something faint and then come up with like the front kick against Frankie Edgar, or the head kick like he did against Dominic Cruz. Styles make fights. I think Cory Sandhagen is just a little bit too much pressure, and he's going to be throwing too much, and he presents too much of a variety when he's fighting. So this is a really tough one, though. This is a really tough one to pick. I think I'm going to have to go with Cory Sandhagen here, though, just because I don't think that Cheeto's typical strategy is going to work out against Cory. Now, if Cheeto comes in and it's just like a bang up fight from the go, then maybe you give Cheeto the advantage because he's a little bit slicker. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Cory Sandhagen here, though, as much as that pains me, because I am a huge Cheeto Vera fan. I hope he gets the win, but I think Cory Sandhagen's gonna get it done. What do you think, Tom?
Well, if you're a huge Cheeto Vera fan, I'm probably going to make you feel good right now. Cory Sandhagen, he's a guy who, he's going to come out and he's going to throw balls to the wall from the beginning of the fight. And this is a 5-rounder. And you look at that Peter Yan fight, as the fight went on, Cory Sandhagen began to fade a little bit. And even against Song Yadong, he began to fade a little bit as time went on. And he didn't throw as much volume. The thing about Cory Sandhagen, he's a 5'11" at 135 pounds, but that doesn't come from his legs or come from his arms. It really comes from a lot from his torso. And when you have a guy like Cheeto Vera who loves to beat up the body and throws really fast, snappy leg kicks and really hard overhand rights, I think that's a really bad combination, because Cheeto can land to the body, and while that kind of may stun Cory for a second, that overhand right is going to be able to land for him. Cheeto Vera, yes, he does have a bit of that downloading style, but so does Piotr Yan. And Piotr Yan dropped the first round to Cory Sandhagen, was able to come back and win the previous ones. And then Cheeto Vera, he's a guy that he's not going to lead in terms of the volume output, but his strikes are just going to have so much more of an impact that I think it's going to be negligible in terms of, like, you'll see that Cory Sandhagen maybe after the second round will have, 40 or 50 strikes landed, and Cheeto may only have 20 or 30 strikes, but you've seen Cory Sandhagen stumble 2 or 3 times. Cheeto Vera, up until this point, has had a fantastic chin. And he's one of those guys that has a lot of fights, a lot of IQ, and he's still only 30 years old. I mean, look at it, 15-4 versus 22-7, right? So that's 30 fights under his belt, and he's 30 years old. Cory Sandhagen is 30 years old, and he has 19 fights under his belt. So, he is fighting at elevation, Cory Sandhagen is, but this one is going to be taking place in Texas. So I don't think that that's going to have too much of an impact. Over 5 rounds, we don't really see Cheeto Vera be a guy who loses cardio. I mean, I think he does marathons 2 or 3 times a week just for fun. So for Cheeto Vera, he's a guy who actually lands huge power that you don't expect in the 135-pound division. He's hitting Dominic Cruz, and Dominic Cruz was stumbled or dropped 3 or 4 times in that fight before he got knocked out cold in the 4th round by the head kick that was perfectly placed, and that Cheeto had saw 2 or 3 rounds prior and was setting up. So I think from a fight IQ and an ability to set up and see things, you got to give that type of vision to Chito Vera. And you also got to give him the power. And I'm also going to go out on a limb and give him the precision as well. We're not going to see too much grappling here. And when it comes to cardio, I also kind of want to lean Chito Vera because Chito Vera is a guy that just doesn't get tired. And, he throws a lot of power, but he doesn't throw a lot of volume, which ultimately means that he's able to conserve that cardio for a longer time. And he's just got endless amounts of gas to be able to throw those power shots. Again, finishing guys late in the fight, finishing Dominic Cruz in the 4th round with a perfectly placed head kick. That can happen at any time. It's not like he's the guy who's going to go out there, stun you, wobble you, and then he's got to rely on his gas tank to be able to land a flurry of shots that someone's have to get in there and stop. So for all of those reasons, I really feel like Marlon Chito Vera is going to be able to get this done. I think he's going to be able to sneak that leg kick onto that long torso of Cory Sandhagen. Cory Sandhagen is going to have to drop those hands because it's going to, after 2 or 3 rounds, that's going to start to really hurt, just like Kamaru Usman did, just like Dominic Cruz did. And Chito's going to be able to find a way in what Cory is doing as he gets as it goes on, as he gets a little more tired, as he starts making mistakes, as he starts being less technical and sound in his defense. You're going to see Chito analyze something, pick it up, and land. And the final point is Cory Sandhagen, his most recent fight against Song Yadong. There were a couple instances where Cory came out. I think he's training with Team Alpha Male too. He's going over there and he's trying to grapple. He's trying to get people to the ground, at least against Song Yadong. But on some of those clinch breaks, Song was rocking Cory Sandhagen. He took a left, he took a right a couple of times that Cory was able to kind of stumble for a second and then come back from. If that's Chito Vera, he goes out. Yeah, Chito Vera has that crazy power in 35, and Cory Sandhagen just, I find, leaves himself open far too much to get hit. And he doesn't, I'm not saying that he doesn't have the chin for it, but he's not against competition. Petr Yan is not a guy who's known to go out there and just starch people. TJ Dillashaw, and especially as he's getting older, not a guy to go out there and starch people anymore. Frankie Edgar, 2 years ago. These type of guys, Marlon Rouse, like they're not the caliber of opponent that's going to go out there and put people away with one strike. Chito Vera is that guy. He's fighting for his family. I love his dedication and his demeanor and everything about him. He's fast, he's powerful, he's technical, he's smart, intelligent. I'm going, and again, with the amount that Cory gets hit and having that long torso and having those snappy leg kicks from Marlon Chito Vera and that air of confidence that he comes around with, he has those the ability to just put you away, and he knows it. He's so cool. He might be one of the coolest fighters, Chito Vera, just in his overall aura. So I'm going. I mean, his name's Chito, man. Like, I'm going with Chito Vera. It's pretty split here. But I'm going with Chito Vera. I think he's going to get this one done by KO. I think he's going to, maybe to the body, to the head. I think he's going to get it finished. But I think at plus 135, he's an underdog. I'll take that money line all day.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, I
just watched your whole demeanor go, shit.
No, because I mean, it didn't take much because I am a huge Chito Vera fan, right? And this was more of like a situation where me being a fan wants Chito Vera, and him being the dog wants Chito Vera. But Cory Sandhagen did feel like the smart pick. But I mean, when it comes to Saturday, I'm going to be betting on Chito Vera, and I might as well be honest with myself now. So I'm going to take Chito Vera in this one too, because everything you said is 100% correct. And I hope that strategy of, watching things, setting things up, I hope it does work out for him. It's just Cory Sandhagen is going to throw a flurry of strikes early on. But you're right. If anybody can set up a knockout, it's Chito. I got to be honest with the people. I'd probably be betting him anyway because I'm a huge fan and because of that dog money. So same way I felt about Justin Gaethje last week, honestly, where it's like, I'm a fan of this guy. Dog money. He's getting to that point now, Chito, where you don't really see him as a dog anymore, and the money isn't there as often. Like a nice line like this one. His aura, his swag, and everything about him is so cool. So yeah, I actually am gonna have to go with Chito Vera here as well. Cory Sandhagen felt like the smart pick, but I think everything he said is 100% correct, and